Hey YouTube, this is NJ4Wider5 and I've got another server power supply hack that I plan on doing to this little, this is a 1200, it's a 1200 watt server power supply. It's only 1200 if you can run it at 200, 240. I unfortunately don't have a way to run it at 200 or 240. So this will be ran probably at 120, so it'll be a 900 watt power supply, and ran with the second one in series it'll be 24 volts at 900 watts. And I figured that I'm going to do this, build this, and I'll probably end up using this with my PowerWall. That's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I figured it'd be a fun hack anyways. The other one is on its way. I actually bought it from the exact same seller I bought this one from, and I got it for 20 bucks. What was it? This one I got for 30, the other one I got for 20. 30 bucks is still kind of spendy for this, but it was 30 bucks. And the guy was actually wanting like 37 or 38, and he had a best offer, so I gave him 30 bucks, and I bought two of them. The other one's on its way. He promised it would be an exact duplicate to this one. So I've seen tons of videos on how to turn, I guess they call it floating, the second power supply. And in order to float it, it's just like with the regular computer power supplies. You have to float the DC side. It has to be isolated from the casing, and it can't be touching the earth from I guess the mains. So in order to do that, they have two screws right here that they attach to the DC side through the board. I guess there's some little pads where the screws are, and it attaches through there. So anyways, in order to float it, you have to take the top off, and then you have to take this off. Well, you don't have to really take it out, but you have to unscrew them and pull them out. And then you have to add nylon screws and spacers. So I plan on using these. I picked these up from my local hardware store. Let's see if I can get one out without losing them. I actually got extra just in case. Only thing, none of the screws are coming down. Alright. I heard one fall. Oh, there it is. Grab that later. So I ended up getting these, and they should work just perfect. The plan is to open this up, drill out this hole and this hole, and then add this in place of this going up through the power supply. It looks like it should be almost the perfect height for this build. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up using a nut to use for the bottom spacer, and a nut, and I'll use a nut, a washer, and then another nut, and it should isolate this from the main side so that I can float this with my second power supply. This one too, what I plan on doing also is building it exactly like I built this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one actually needs a 1K or 1000 ohm resistor. So I'm gonna end up putting a 1000 ohm resistor in the same place, pin 33 and 36, just like this one. And I'm gonna end up drilling these two and adding two banana jacks just like this one. The reason why I'm gonna do that is so that it takes advantage of both pads. And this time I may add some solder. Another guy I was chatting with said it might help out with the with the higher amps that I'll be pulling. So after I bolt them on, I may throw solder on the bottom. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll wait till I get down into it. But in the end, after this is completely done, I plan on it looking exactly like this. And that the only reason why I'm going to build it like that is just in case I decide to use it without the other supply. I can, you know, just plug in like normal. Also, what I'm going to be trying to do is there's another hack where they're saying that if one supply dies for some unexpected reason and the other supply stays on, it supposedly destroys your charger, or it could destroy your charger, is what they're saying. So there's a hack where you add like a octocoupler, a couple of diodes, and a couple of resistors, and you put it in place of pin 33 and 36, and it gets connected to the second supply, and the second supply gets connected to this. They both get one, and what ends up happening is if 12 volts from these two pads just like disappears, it automatically shuts off the other one, and it's supposed to happen instantaneously, and it's supposed to so that when they're connected, it'll only run at 24 volts or no volts. I'm gonna actually probably turn up the voltage on this to run at 12.6, so this will be running at like 25.2 when I'm done. And that's because a lot of your 3S batteries are 12.6, and these are capable of 12.6. The little hack that you do to keep them, you know, on together, if you're not using it, you can actually plug it right back into itself, and when you plug it right back into itself, it just makes the power supply, you know, you can use it like normal. But I'm gonna attempt that hack too. I found the octocouplers. I got a few of them. I've got a few of the diodes. It takes a Schottky diode, I believe it is, or no, it's a fast switching diode. I'm gonna add those, and I believe that's it. Another guy I chatted with that always follows my channel, he was mentioning that he wasn't sure if these are protected. I did a little bit more investigating, and these are protected. These are protected from short circuit. These server power supplies have a lot of protection in them, you know, so that's not saying they're perfect, you know, they can fail, but I may add protection. I'm not 100% sure, you know, I'll find out as I get into the hack. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart and get ready to be floated. So I guess this video is gonna be mainly on floating, and then after I float it, hopefully by the time I'm done with this video, the other charger will be here, and I can kind of, you know, test them together, and hopefully this hack turns out how I want it. Also, make sure you test this before you do the hack, because it'd probably suck if you did the hack and then come to find out the power supply was defective. So make sure to test your power supply before you put in the nylon bolts or do any kind of hacking or any kind of altering, just on the off chance that it's defective. That might save you a lot of trouble later on. The hack looked pretty simple, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how to float a server power supply to be used in parallel or series. 1000 ohm resistor. Pin 33. $12.35. Alright, so let's see if we can hack this or float this. First, you remove all the screws. And you remove the plates. Gotta watch these little things, they kind of clip into the bottom right there. And you want to be careful because you don't want to get zapped. That's what you get. You remove this first. And that exposes screw down there that you can see. Then remove the four back here that belong to the fan. And you wiggled it. Look like it's got a little bit of sticky tape at the bottom. So after you got that, you move the fan out of the way. Then you got to the little screw down there at the bottom. Let's see if I can get you guys to see that. It's a tiny screw right there. Now you want to be careful because you don't want to be ripping no wires out of here. And there should be two screws up here that you have to remove. One right there and one right there. Once all the screws are removed, there's also a LED from the back that you gotta remove. Watch handling the bottom because you don't want to be touching the bottom just in case it's got any juice in there. Okay, so you set that aside. You want to get rid of this black piece. And those right there are what you want to get rid of. The weird thing I seen that he was chatting about is he said that once he ran his drill bit over these, and they popped right out. So I'm gonna run my Dremel over this real quick, clean these off, and then pop these right out. Alright, well, after I took my Dremel and drilled out the little, like, I guess collet there, I barely even pressed on them, and the one that I spun left a round mark there, and the other one just left the oval shape of the nut piece, I guess, that held it in place. So that's not too bad. So this is the bottom. Okay, so you want to put everything back in there the exact same way you took it out. So remember, this was over here. So once you get the black in there, the black strip in there exactly the same way it was when you got it out, it's time to align the board. And from what I remember seeing, this can be a little tricky. I guess it's because there's a groove over there that it fits in. With the magnetic screwdriver, you want to inch your way down there. So then you kind of just put this back together in reverse order. So I did the fan. And said don't forget to put this back on there. Okay, so now the tricky part is I've got to be able to get one of my screws. I got bolts and screws, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with 2 washers on this side. I'm going to go in through the bottom with the screw, put 2 washers, and then bolt it through the top, and that should be enough, or that's the plan. Well, I guess that's a good thing I got extra bolts. I couldn't get the washers to fit up under there snugly. Every time I tried to put the screw through there, it kept falling out one way or the other direction. Luckily, I bought some extra bolts, so what I just did is I put the bolt in there, and then I threaded this right through the bolt, and then I threaded it right through the top, and this thing is snug. It actually looks like it's got a pretty good fit. Okay. The last thing to do is you got to adjust the voltage. There's 3 potentiometers on the side right here. 1, 2, 3. It's this one right there. The very first one closer to the back. That one's supposed to adjust the voltage, and I want to adjust the voltage to 12.6. So let me get set up for that real quick. Line this up with the grooves. You might want to start with the back screw, because I guess the back screw has to go under a certain way in order for the plug to stay in its space. There's a little like catch lever. If you've ever done any panel mount AC jacks in you know what I'm talking about. There's a little lip there where it gets where it clips into the cutout. Well, the way this one is set up is it has a lip on the top and the bottom, so in order for the top one to catch, you got to push that part down on top of the little lip while you're holding it down, screwing it in at the same time. Alright, well, there we go. It's then again, let's check it out. Green light. Check the voltage. .6. Oh, fluctuating. I also have to make sure the other one I set about 12.59. Alright guys, I think that's enough. I think I'm going to make this a two-part video. It's going to probably be a pretty long video. I figured you guys didn't want to struggle through me hacking this, drilling the holes in the pads to put the banana panel mount jack thingies. If you want to see that, my last video, I believe I put that in there. So if it's going to be the same exact hack all the way across. The next time, or on the next video, I'm going to go ahead and show how to do it's like a security switch, and I found a guy online that did one out of a octocoupler and some diodes and resistors and whatnot. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the next video, and I'm gonna add to that, I'm gonna add the second power supply, and we're gonna throw those in series and run them at 24 volts. Not really sure what I'm gonna run off of it just yet. More likely it's going to be used to help power my PowerWall. I've got some boost converters that should work perfect with it. We'll find out when we get there, but for right now I'm going to cut this video at part 1 of 2. So please like, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you on my next video.